What's happening, guys? So today I want to go over the brand new event called Outlaw Arena. This will be here on July 24th. We have this nice little web page that basically shows all the event rewards and how it works and everything like that. Before we get into the actual event rewards, I want to address the difficulty of this new event dungeon. As you guys probably know, in Korea this event dungeon is very difficult. Boss has like over 640 million HP. You need like around a 1.7 million steady DPS to be able to do this event on a 6-minute enrage timer. So basically only the top tier players can do this, and there's been a lot of people kind of upset on the forums thinking, oh, we're gonna get the same version and this is gonna be terrible, barely anyone can even do the event. But actually for North America and Europe and the Russian server actually got changed and nerfed, so it's more accessible for the player base. So we're going to take a little bit of a detour and go into the Blade and Sword forum so I can show you guys this new information. Right here we have a post talking about the pay to win event, round 2, time for another break. Basically everyone's very upset on this forum post, just really mad that it's going to be super exclusive, barely anyone can do it. This is before we all knew it got nerfed. And actually the community coordinator was going back and forth with a forum poster, and the forum poster basically gave like a whole breakdown on how like it's going to be really difficult. He gave like a math breakdown, math equation. And yeah, he's going kind of off on the community coordinator. So the coordinator responded and he said a screenshot of the Russian server and how much HP the boss will have. Only 184 million, down from 600 million. Also, the rage timer will be only 3 minutes instead of 6 minutes for Korea. He told the guys time to cool down a bit, which is a really nice way of saying you need to chill the F out. But yeah, this is actually a really big reduction compared to the 640 million HP in Korea. So this is down way more than half. So this is going to be a lot more accessible for players. Instead of 1.7 million steady DPS, you're going to need around 1 million steady DPS. And we also have a guy who was nice enough to link the Russian server solo dungeon. You'll see right here, we go into full screen. The boss has 184 million HP. And the timer is at 3 minutes. So that is around 1 million steady DPS you need to do at the bare minimum. Honestly, if you want to do this comfortably, I would say at least 1.1 million steady DPS. So there's definitely no doubt that they nerfed this event dungeon and made it way more accessible for the majority of the player base. My only thing is when I think of kind of the casual Blade and Soul player, or at least the average Blade and Soul player, they're probably doing around like 500k to 600k steady DPS. 1 million is still kind of high, honestly, so I feel like a lot of players are still going to be excluded from the event. And when I think of events, I've always thought of them as something that's really great for the whole player base. Everyone can do it, get some great rewards. It's like an incentive to log in, like an extra reason why to play the game. And when they make it so it's only for a select player base, I don't really think it's right. I don't think this is a great idea, especially when the population of Blade and Soul is not very good right now. Like, it's pretty low. A lot of people are waiting for Unreal Engine 4. A lot of people are waiting for at least Archer to come out. So when you make these events that are excluding the remaining players that you still have playing the game, I don't think that's a really great idea right now. But yeah, I definitely am happy that they nerfed it, because 1.7 million steady DPS for an event is just completely ridiculous. So that is a great change. Besides that, let's talk about the actual rewards of the event. So basically how the event works is there's 3 different bosses to fight, each one more difficult than the last, 3 different daily quests, and there's 2 different event tokens. One is a Crisis coin, other one is an Outlaw coin. Now you need both of them to actually purchase from the Dragon Express and get the items that you want, like Sacred Vials or any type of items like that, costumes. One thing to mention is you can do this over and over. So you can do Outlaw Arena as many times as you want. Just of course the daily quest won't be there once you do it 1 time per day. So it's not like the regular event dungeons where you would just do it 1 time and then it's locked. It's more similar to the turtle boss that was in Mujin's tower, where you could just keep entering and doing it over and over to farm for the tokens. And that's probably why they added these restrictions to some of the big ticket items. For example, like the Sacred Vial. It says right here, each account limited to 5 purchases per week. So that means on every person's account, you can only get 5 Sacred Vials every single week from the Dragon Express. So let's say the event is 4 weeks long, you get a total of 20 Sacred Vials for this event. The whole restriction thing on being able to purchase so many Sacred Vials, I'm really not a fan of. We've never had any type of restriction on Sacred Vials for the past 3 years we've had events in this game. I really don't think they should start adding that now. People don't really like that. The whole purpose of people doing events is they like to be able to spam them on multiple characters and get a ton of Sacred Vials. That's the whole purpose of doing them. So adding a restriction where you can only get 5 per week, I feel like kind of hinders a lot of players with their progression, especially because they're adding new stuff like the brand new soul they just added with this last patch. It's like, it's really not going to hurt people to let them get a lot of sacred oils from the event. So yeah, the whole restriction on Sacred Vials I don't really think is a great idea when this is the whole reason why people do events. So adding an artificial restriction where you can only get so many, I just think it's a bad idea and they should have added to future events or even this event. Yes, one thing you can argue though is like for the past events that we've had this whole year, you can only get around 4 to 5 sacred vials per character. So this is not a really big restriction. It's not like you're only going to be able to get like 2 per week or something like that. You can still get 20 sacred vials, which is pretty nice for only 4 weeks of an event. I just think it's kind of unfortunate for a lot of people that you could have got a lot more if they didn't have this dumb restriction added. But besides the Sacred Vial restrictions, there's obviously all the other event rewards you can get. There's a bunch of different costumes, which are actually kind of cool. I've seen some of them on the Russian server, and I actually might get one maybe myself. They do have the new wings that you can purchase. Everyone loves their wings in Blade and Soul. There's even the restriction on pet pads, but I feel like most players don't really do the event for pet pads. There is a weapon chest you can purchase for 2 hours. I'm not really sure how high tier the weapon is, but I'm going to assume it's probably like Grand Celestial Weapon to help you meet the DPS requirements, so that could help. Kind of similar to the sacred turtle boss that you could buy the weapon chest, same type of thing. Overall, this event looks decent. I really don't like the whole restriction of the sacred vials, and I don't like how you need still 1 million steady DPS to do it. But in general, it looks like the rewards are pretty good if you meet the requirements of doing it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this event. Do you think that is a good idea that they nerfed it? Do you think they should nerf it more? I personally think they should a little bit more. But anyways, let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you sub to the channel, like the video. See you guys in the next one real soon, and I'm out.